In your cPanel, you'll need to create a blank database. So to create the blank database in cPanel, you just go to Databases, and then we'll create this one as my store, and make a note of the prefix that your host will have added to the database. So then we need to create a user for the database. So we'll use the same my store, and we set a password. Okay, create the user. Then we need to add the user to the database. So we select the database and we click add. Select all privileges and make changes. Okay, so our blank database is now set up and we're ready to start the installation. So in your FTP account, you need to look for the project files in your package, and you will upload everything in the project files to your folder on your website. Now that will take a few minutes because we've got 500 files to go, so we'll take a short break. Guess the last few files have now gone up. Okay, so that's the files uploaded to our server. So now we need to go to the address of your site, there's the address of our site, and then set up PHP. So then we need to enter our registration code and click continue. Will then be checked against the server, and once it's been validated, it will move on to the next page. Okay, so first of all we need to enter the site URL. Well, we can pick that up from here. That's my store. Okay, and don't forget the backslash on the end. And the store name. Or whatever you want to call it. Okay, then the store email. So and that must be a email address on the domain that you've installed, and then the database name. What we called it was my store, Then we had the database username, which was the same, and then the password. Then we test the connection, and if we get a success, we'll get the write file and continue. So we write the file and continue. Files written successfully, so now we can continue, and now all the tables are being created in the database and some dummy data added. So just check around down there, and they should all be white. If there's any red ones, then there's a problem. But everything is white, so the setup has worked successfully. So then click continue, and now we can log in. And you log in with the default password in the setup file. Okay, so now we're into the admin page. So the first thing we need to do is to go to the system settings. Now the emails from will have already been filled in for you, but you can update that at any time. The currency you want to use in PayPal and for your site, and you can select which one you want there. Then the live PayPal email address, which you'll need to fill in. So that's the email address to receive the payments. Then you enter the currency symbol, and you always enter that as the HTML format. So in this case, it would be and pound semicolon. If it was US dollars, then you would enter and 36. And at 36, I'm just trying to remember now. Yes, and hash 36 is now US dollars. And then if you refresh the page after you've updated it, you will actually see the symbol. But the database will store it in the HTML format. Okay, and the same for euros. If it was euros, it would be and euro, comma, semicolon. So now if we refresh the page, we should see the euro symbol. There we go. So we want pounds anyway, so okay. Then the status of PayPal. So whether you're going to be doing some testing in Sandbox or whether you're live and taking real orders and payments. So you just change that when you go live. Then you've got your Sandbox email account there, if you have one. Your store name, which has been filled in from settings, as has the site URL. And then you will enter your store address and details, the store telephone and a VAT number, or none if you haven't got a VAT number. You can then change the email logo, header logo, and this is also used for invoices. So the image must be a JPEG and must be 600 pixels wide and about 130 deep. Okay, then we've got the show products on per page, so that's how many products to show per page on the main shop page. And I would suggest you keep that to an odd number divided by 3, because it then fills the page just right. Then show the pack quantity in the shop, so whether you want to show how many are in each order, each pack order. Show individual postage and packing of each item in the shop, whether you want to do that or not, and then you just click it on or off. What the tax is, percentage on postage and packing. The maximum number of items that people can order in one go, so they can select up to 10 items in that case. The minimum postage and packing per order, and the maximum postage and packing per order. Now, if you don't put any postage and packing on any product, and you have a fixed postage and packing of say £2.95, then £2.95 will be added to every order, irregardless of how many items there are, for postage and packing. If, however, you have got individual postage and packings per product, then if the total is less than £2.95, then it will put an adjustment for £2.95 to make it £2.95. And similarly, if the total of all the postage and packings on the individual products comes to more than the maximum, in this case £19.99, then the postage and packing will be reduced. There will be an adjustment to reduce it down to £19.99. The days digital download links are valid, so how long after they receive their link can they download their products, and you can set that to anything what you like in that list. Then the times a digital download can be used, so you can set that up to 10 times. Now I would suggest you always use at least 2 in there, because if somebody has a failed download, then they need to try again. You don't want them contacting you every time there's a failed download. Okay, then use catalog mode on or off. If you switch catalog mode on, then it will take orders and not allow any payments. So it'll just take an order and send you the order. Show extra text box on the checkout. So if you want them to be able to add some comments on the checkout, like if you're doing engraved items and you need them to enter the details of what the engravings are, then you can switch that on and show an extra checkout text box. And similarly, on the checkout, you can show a file upload, and they can upload up to 4 files to support their order. So for example, if you're doing printed t-shirts and they want a picture printed on the t-shirt, they can upload the picture at checkout. Okay, so then we come to barcode types. So on the delivery label and packing notes, it will print up barcodes of the order number and the customer number and the tracking ID, and you can select what type of barcode to use depending on your circumstances. So you can use code 128, 128A, 128B, 39, or coda bar. So that will then create the right type of barcode. And then if you want the visitors to be able to view prices in another currency, then you just switch that on and they will get the option to do that on the main shop page. Okay, so that's all the settings, apart from one last thing, and that is the email. The contact form has a custom contact form, and you'll need to edit the settings in that, and you do that within Project Mobilize. So once you've imported your project, Mobilize seems to be getting slower and slower to load. Okay, so we go to the contact page, and you'll see the form here. And then to set up the form, it's quite simple. Just go to the cog. You can choose whether or not to show the title, whether or not to show the text. You can enter your Google reCAPTCHA code, the public one, in there. The email address to send emails to. And if you want to send it to 2 email addresses, just put a comma between. And if you then add this form later, because you'll have to install the extension, you can put it on another page and you can send it to a different address. No problem. Not like some other forms. Okay, so then show the subject field, yes or no, which is that one there, and the address line 1, 2, and so on. Whatever fields you want to display. So if we wanted the address one, we just click it and then Oops, that's not the address one. Yes, it is. There we go. Address one. And then you can switch on or off. You can show the city field that's there, and so on. And then whether you want to show the company field, gender, and all this sort of thing, except terms you probably would always want to show. Then you can set the top padding and bottom padding, the background image, and the background color for the overlay, if you're going to use the overlay, and the opacity. And then you'll see in the pack there's a file called secret PHP, where you put your Google reCAPTCHA secret key in, and it tells you where to upload it in the guide. So that's it. So now you've got your contact form set up, and everything is set up and ready to go. And you can then make your own customizations to the forms and so on. Now you have to bear in mind that some of them, like this one here, this menu has got some hidden code been added to the menu. You'll see, to make the button work, you've got there we go, it starts about here, there we go, that goes all the way down there. So you've got some session variables, some JavaScript and so on in there to make the cart button work correctly. So just make sure you don't delete any of those, that code. And you'll also see they've got different menus on different pages. So on the shop pages and the customer facing pages, it's that menu. And if you go to an admin page, you'll see we've got a different menu on the admin page. And also on the setup pages, we have another different menu. So you'll have to be careful if you do change the menus that you don't make them global or remove global, because all three are set up in the same project file. Okay, so that's the setup and how it all goes together, and then you can enjoy your shop. Okay, so thank you for watching, and please read the user guide carefully, as it does give all these instructions in the user guide as well, which